In this video, we are going to continue with applying the basic counting principle. But in this case, we want to see if we can combine these principles or not. Yes, at times, and it is known as the combining principle, at times some problems may require that you apply the two principles, but not all problems. A problem may be very tricky, may be attempting that, oh okay, apply the two principles, but if you don't take time, you apply the two principles and then you get it wrong. So let's look at this critical scenario. Now, this example, how many different ways can you create a 3-character code if the first character must be a letter from A to Z and the next 2 characters must be digit 0 to 9 and repetition of the digits is allowed? So here, take note, we have two distinct items, a letter and then a number. A letter is not the same as a number, so they are two distinct. But the next thing you have to consider, I said in the previous video that we use multiplication principle when the object is sequential. It is in sequence. So here it can mean that though the characters are different, the first character is a letter and then the next character is a number, they can all be placed in one box. So we have the letters A, B, C, D, and then we have 0, 1, 2, 3. They can all be placed in one box, not two distinct boxes. And this one here, we are forming the same. So the letter and then the number are going to be on the same code. They are going to be on the same code, not different codes. So selection here is sequential. Please, very, very important. Selection here is very, very important. It is sequential because after you have selected the letter, you select the next one that follows, not distinct, not in a different event, but in the same event, because they are all for one code. So it is sequential. So the first letter is followed by a number and then also another number. So please, they are sequential. So here, if you don't take time, you may be tempted to actually use the two principles, but no, you're going to use only one principle. Because it is for sequential. Please take note of sequential. When the selection is in sequence, no matter how different the objects are, the fact that the objects are different doesn't mean that you have to use addition principle or multiplication. Follow the wording followed by and then also if it is in sequence, you do this, and then after you've done this, it follows in the same order. But just that the object or the items are different. If it follows in the same order, it means that you have to apply the multiplication principle. Please take note, there are other problems that requires that, yes, you really do that. So let's say you have, let me just give an example of that problem. Let's say you have you want to make 2 plates. You want to make 2 plates. So here, or you want to make 2 coats. Let's say you want to make 2 coats. You want to make 2 3-character codes. So let's say 2 3-character codes. So here you are making only one character. You are making only one 3-character code. So only one. Here you are making 2. And then let's say that the first one, let's use this one as the first one. So let's use this example as the first 3-character code, and the next one to also be, let's say, only numbers from this, and then not including letters. So when it involves that, where you have this first letter code, and then the other one is you use only numbers, so 0, 1 up to 9, 0 to 9. That's the next three character code that you want to make. You want to use only numbers, and then this one you're using this letters and that. So you realize that there are two distinct items here. There are two distinct items here, and repetition is allowed. So here, after you have obtained the so let me go back. So after you have obtained, let's say, so after you have obtained the first one, so the first one, use this approach. There are 26 letters in the alphabet, so the possible ways, the first choice, the possible ways is 26. And then in the second choice too, you are selecting numbers from 0 to 9. There are 10 numbers, and then since repetition is allowed, the first choice will be 10 and the second choice will also be 10. So you have this as the first three character code, which involves letters and then numbers, Now, so with this question, you only need one, because it is only one three character code. And then it is sequential. So you use that. So now, and then it is sequential. So you use that. But cases where you can apply the two is when another character code is required. And let's say that character code takes numbers only from 0 to 9. So after that three character code, and if repetition is allowed, is going to be 10 times 10 times 10, because the same number can be repeated. Three numbers can be repeated. A number can